Sorry, we are just going to have the local board input from Waiheke Local Board Chair Kath Hanley based on item 11. So do we need to bring forward the item or can we just put... Okay, so this is, apologies, it's a bit round the other way, but I prefer Chair Hanley not to miss out on her speaking turn. So she's speaking to item 11. You've got 5 minutes, Kath, and sorry to switch you around. But thank you so much for coming in.
Kia ora koutou, and many thanks, Mr. Chair, for accommodating me. I didn't realise till yesterday afternoon that I was to be in here this morning, which has nothing to do with the staff here. It is to do with staff somewhere else. I just want, prior to you dealing with the hard plastics item in the submission, to raise an issue which is of concern to our board, which is about the value of this, not the price, compared to these. This is a light-proof milk bottle. We won't say who produces that. It's all the same milk. It's light blue. This is a competitor's brand. This milk comes in 3 different variations. Usually in a supermarket, there's a home brand. It's slightly opaque plastic. It'll come in the brand of the producer, which is 50 something. I just bought it at the supermarket, 51 cents dearer. And it comes in some brands, singular actually, light proof. When council picks this up from all of the households of Auckland, that all of this costs the same for you to get it from to Vizzy and out the other end. But from there, these 2 bottles deliver a profit to council, each one of them. So you're making money on those. This one you're paying. All you get back on this one, because this is actually goes in with the coloured plastics, hard to recycle. Massive volumes of this. If you go into a dairy, you will see, except probably in an area, because this is all about socioeconomics as well, and price. So for those who only buy at supermarkets and they'll buy 5 litres or 2 litres, they'll buy the cheapest because that's actually all the family can afford. So this is a premium product. So the people of Auckland are actually buying this but subsidising this for the people who can afford it. Massive volumes, as you'll appreciate. So council fully pays for this all the way to getting it on a ship. The money you get back on that is the money of the freight cost, the shipping. It goes to a very small number of plants that will now take it across the world. I think when I visited Vizzy 18 months ago, they said 3 plants will take it, with the rest of the coloured plastics. But you'll appreciate that this has got to be the single biggest item in terms of volume in there. What I wanted to raise the issue with is the way I read this, that this one they're looking to phase out in 2025. Which means that we as a council and we as the people of Auckland will continue to pay to subsidise the production, the use of this for the consumer, but actually for the manufacturer. I would like to see us take a stand in this process and seek very quick phasing out of this. It can be done very quickly because you appreciate it came in quite quickly because the same producer who can produce this produces this and produces this. They're different brands here because I didn't want to do the branding issue. But they can very readily move it, and you'll recognise that there is an argument that says something in this kind of a container is better for you because I think it might be vitamin E, but it's a vitamin that is not destroyed over several days in this container, but is in this one. So yeah, it's a real health benefit. Being able to afford it is a health benefit as well, I believe. I'm assuming that there is so much money in the margins that the distributors down in the supply chain that put it in the dairies and I've talked to dairies, I generally, on Waiheke, but it'll be different in different parts of Auckland, can't buy this in a dairy. And the reason is because the supply chain, presumably because of the margins, is making it more profitable. It's the only way this works. More profitable for everybody in the supply chain to be selling this. More profitable for everybody except for the ratepayers of Auckland. So I would very much like, on behalf of our board, to appeal to you to make sure, or have a review when you're looking at that, doing this afternoon, looking at that submission, that you look to phase this one out a hell of a lot faster than 2025, because I don't think Auckland Council is in a position to be subsidising the manufacturer and the consumer. Thank you very much.
Perfect, thank you, Chair Handley. There's very, very good points. I'm not sure if there are any questions, but I will say that the team are watching, and we will see if we can't get it specifically into this current submission, that we're keen to work on campaigns like our other campaigns on things like wet wipes and things, that we've been going on for a long time with the Food Council and other things.
But I guess that's right. If it can't happen in the submission, it can still happen, because the influence of council over behaviours is a really important one. The consumer doesn't know. I know that because every time I've said this to anybody, they've never had any idea. But I have checked back a couple of times with the manager of Vizzy since I first cracked this before I became a chair. So appreciate that. I'm going to leave this for council.
Oh,
Unless there's somebody around the table who'd like the milk, because I don't want to tote it all the way back to Waiheke. Sorry, I didn't. Is that questions?
Do you want me to put them in the fridge?
They're for you, Wayne. There we go.
Any questions? Member Wilcox.
So we all know who it is, because Fonterra is the only company that's allowed to collect the milk. So let's not beat around the bush. They have their head office in Auckland, and they have the big factory at Takanini. Have you approached them directly?
No, I haven't. But I did ask, and I don't want to, I think this is compromising of people's conversations, but I did ask Vizzy whether they knew of this, and the answer was yes, they've been out to Vizzy several times for meetings where this has been made abundantly clear. I didn't see this as something that I can, with respect, change single-handedly. I can do a lot of things, but I don't believe that Fonterra would do anything other than, redact that. I don't believe the manufacturer would necessarily do anything simply because I visited them. They are abundantly aware.
Councillor Fletcher.
I'm just wondering whether, in terms of getting the clout for that behavioural change, whether it should come through the Rural Advisory Panel or some formal process of council as well as this committee?
Sorry.
So Penny Holson, I advocated to the Minister, Eugenie Sage, about that. 2 years ago, Richard, were you down there, was it? And we made this point exactly about the milk bottles. It really needs to be a nationwide direction, and it should be part of a product stewardship campaign.
Yes. And it should be part of this legislation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. Was there any more? Councillor Simpson. All right, thank you. Apologies, I thought I was still going for questions. Just last question, Councillor Walker.
Or whoever the appropriate person is, put out an edict to Auckland Council that we should be buying the right milk bottles, so that we actually walk the talk. Because I think if you look at some of our fridges, you may find that we aren't. So I just toss that in. I know it's in the fridge over in some of the fridges.
The ones on our floor are
So the
clear.
mayor you're up for that, Phil?
Thank you. But yes, no, we need to change our own business.
Ian has taken the message on board. I'm apparently not able to direct him operationally, but I think he's heard the message.
Yeah. They'll be milking it, I think. Cool, thank you, Kath. We've got a mover and a seconder. All those in favour? Aye. Those opposed?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm just checking on the resolutions. Councillor Walker, you just want an addition.
A real simple one, you could actually